All right, welcome back to another episode of Chip Theory. Today I'm going to be discussing the key of A sharp Phrygian. Uh, again, A sharp Phrygian mode is going to be the third mode of our major scale, and its pattern of whole and half steps is simply the major scale pattern backwards. So again, Phrygian mode has a whole step. I'm sorry. Um, the major scale has a whole, whole, half, whole, whole, whole uh, half pattern, and the Phrygian mode is simply that backwards. So we have a half, whole, 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 half, whole, whole pattern of um, half steps and whole steps for the Phrygian mode. Again, it's simply the Ionian mode descending, okay? And vice versa, the major scale uh, descending is the Phrygian mode descending, right? So here we have their chips laid out from A sharp here. We have A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, and A. And this is like something you might see on a piano, where you would have your three blue chips are the three black keys and your group of two black keys here. So here would be C, and here would be F, right? Well, here starting on A sharp. Now the first, after we realize the pattern for Phrygian mode as half, whole, 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 half, whole, whole, the next thing we want to realize is the major key that A sharp Phrygian will be relative to, right? Or the key of which the mode is derived from. So here we have our A sharp here at the right, and the way we determine that is since it's the third mode of the major scale, we're going to count down 4 half steps here from the A sharp. So we count down 1, 2, 3, 4 half steps. And here you can see that F sharp is going to be our relative major key. So the A sharp Phrygian mode is based on the F sharp major scale. Again, since we know that there are 12 half steps in the entire octave from A sharp to A sharp, since there are 4 half steps here, we know that this is going to be 8 in this direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 half steps up to F sharp from A sharp. And again, in Phrygian mode, the relative major key always lands on the 6th degree of the mode. So here when we build our A sharp Phrygian scale pattern, our F sharp will be the 6th degree of that scale, or the 6th position for our relative major. So we could simply start on A sharp and play our F sharp major scale starting on this note, or we could use our pattern, which is simply the major scale pattern coming downwards in a whole step. I'm sorry, I keep saying whole step. It's a half step here. Whole, whole, whole. And then the half step, this is our F sharp relative major. And we need a whole step. And our final whole step is going to be from G sharp back to A sharp. So here across the top we have our F sharp or A sharp Phrygian scale. You can see the pattern becomes apparent coming down of the major scale pattern. We have A sharp, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. And that sounds familiar if you know your major scales, because that is the major scale pattern on the Phrygian descending or going to the left. When we're going to the right, it's the major scale backwards. Half, whole, 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 half, whole, whole. And that is the Phrygian pattern that holds true for all of our Phrygian modes around the circle. We remove the notes that aren't in our Phrygian mode. It leaves us with the notes A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp. Now here we have an E sharp, because there's an E sharp and the F sharp major. So since that's a white key being flatted, I'm going to use a red chip for that to help us remember that this is an E sharp, or the E that's been sharped to an F, or E sharp. Here we have the half step F sharp and G sharp. Okay, and here are the notes of our A sharp Phrygian scale. We can see now that this is also an A sharp major scale that has a second, third, sixth, and seventh flatted. So we'd have, a B sharp lowered to B. The C double sharp would be lowered to C sharp. The G double sharp lowered to G sharp. And F double sharp lowered to F sharp, and G double sharp lowered to G sharp. Again, A sharp major is a theoretical key that doesn't really exist, but it would be inharmonic with a B flat major scale. So if you view this as a B flat scale, you have again C flat, D flat, G flat, and A flat. Okay, but we're talking about the sharps, the inharmonic spelling. I'll do another video with the flat naming convention. It's easy to see now, since we have A sharp here, that our F sharp major scale is simply this: F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, and E sharp. And if we were to give our relative major scale degrees to these chips here, we have F sharp is 1, G sharp is 2, second degree. A sharp is the third note, so 3 here on the A sharp. B is 4, C sharp is 5, D sharp is 6, and E sharp would be the 7th note of our relative major, F sharp. So if we move the root note here, F sharp and G sharp, back to the Phrygian position, we can simply number these via their scale degrees relative to the major as the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root, and 2 of F sharp. You can see F sharp lands here on the 6th note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, this is our root of our relative major key. Our triads, starting on A sharp here, are going to be the 3, 5, 7 of F sharp. All right, A sharp, C sharp, E sharp, which is a minor. 3, 5, 7, A sharp minor. Here's our 4, 6 roots, the second triad of A sharp Phrygian is major, or flat 2, B, D sharp, F sharp. For our flat 3 triad, we have this 5, 7, 2 of F sharp, 5, 7, 2, or the C sharp major, C sharp, E sharp, and G sharp. Our fourth triad here is this 6 root 3 of F sharp. So we have a D sharp, F sharp, A sharp, or D sharp minor triad. And the fourth triad, 5 chord of A sharp Phrygian is this. Again, it's 7, 2, 4 of F sharp. This is E sharp, G sharp, and B, which is diminished. E sharp diminished. Here's our relative major triad, the root, third, and fifth, F sharp, A sharp, C sharp. It's major. And on the last one, the 7th position of A sharp Phrygian, we have our 2, 4, 6 degrees, which is G sharp, B, and D sharp, or a G sharp minor triad. Okay, so our chord qualities are going to be the minor on the first one, flat 2 major, flat 3 major, 4 is minor, 5 is diminished, flat 6 is major, and flat 7 is minor. Okay, so again, it's the scale degrees from the F sharp relative major were 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root or 1, and 2 from F sharp major. Again, this is A sharp Phrygian. Now we can build our 7th chords with alternating scale degrees using these notes. Stacked in this direction here. We're going to have A sharp, C sharp, E sharp, and G sharp for a 1 chord. Again, the scale degrees from F sharp are 3, 5, 7, and 2 for our A sharp minor 7. This particular minor 7 is going to have 1 plus 2s for its minor third interval. Here and here, they're both 1 plus 2 equals 3 for its 3, 4, 3 spacing. Again, 1 plus 2 because A sharp to B is 1/2 step, and from B to C sharp is 2/2 steps. So this interval here is 1 plus 2 for this note here, and the same here from E sharp to G sharp. Again, this will hold true for any chord of Phrygian in the first degree. This is actually your 3 chord for major, which has 1 plus 2s on its degrees. 3, 5, 7, 2 always has that. All right, your second chord is going to be a flat 2, 4, 6, root 3. It's B, D sharp, F sharp, and A sharp. Again, this has a different quality than the first chord here. This is a flat 2 major 7, or a 4, 3, 4 spacing. Again, this minor third will have a 2 plus 1 interval. 4, 6, root 3, B, D sharp, F sharp, A sharp. The third chord here, the flat 3, is going to be your dominant 7, 5, 7, 2, 4 from F sharp, 5, 7, 2, 4, C sharp, E sharp, G sharp, and B. Again, this is a C sharp dominant 7 chord that has a 4, 3, 4 spacing. I'm sorry, a 4, 3, 3. Dominant 7s have a 4, 3, and 3. This is a minor third here above the major triad, C sharp major, with the B on top. Again, the intervals here have a 1 plus 2 here and a 2 plus 1 on the top for the dominant 7 minor third intervals. 1 plus 2 and 2 plus 1. 5-7-2-4 is always dominant. Okay, the fourth chord here is minor 7, 6 root 3rd 5th from F sharp, and D sharp, F sharp, A sharp, and C sharp. This is a minor 7 chord, D sharp minor 7, the 6 root 3rd 5th of F sharp, here in the fourth position of A sharp Phrygian. This differs slightly from this minor 7 on the first position, in that it's going to be, it's going to have one of each on its minor third intervals from here and here. The bottom one will be a 2+1, and the top one will be 1+2. Our fifth chord is half diminished, E sharp, G sharp, E, and D sharp. This is going to be a 3-3-4 spacing, half diminished chord. Again, it's the 7-2-4-6 scale degrees from F sharp major, 7-2-4-6, or E sharp, G sharp, B, and D sharp. 3-3-4 interval with a 1+2 here and a 2+1 here. Our sixth is a major, relative major, F sharp major, root 3rd 5th 7th, F sharp, A sharp, C sharp, and E sharp. Again, this is a 4-3-4 with a 1+2 for its minor third interval here, from A sharp to C sharp. And lastly, the flat 7, minor 7, is 2-4-6 root, G sharp, B, D sharp, and F sharp. 2-4-6 root. And it's a minor 7, a G sharp minor 7, 3-4-3, and its intervals are going to be 2+1s on the minor, both minor thirds. Okay, and those are your chords of A sharp Phrygian. Again, we had A sharp minor 7, a B flat 2 B major 7, flat 3 C sharp dominant, a 4 D sharp minor 7, a 5 C sharp half diminished, or C sharp minor 7 flat 5, a 6, I'm sorry, that's E sharp, not C, this is E sharp minor 7 flat 5, E sharp, 6 is an F sharp major 7, and 7 is the G sharp minor 7. Okay, let's talk about the inversions of these chords. Assuming that the scale degrees never change, we want to remember the scale degrees. So we have the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2 here across here. Across here is the 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4. Again, here is going to be 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the top is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root. Again, those are also modes as well. If you were to play across the thirds of the Phrygian mode, you'd have the Mixolydian mode here. If you were to play the fifths, you'd have the Locrian mode, and across the sevenths is the Dorian mode pattern. And if you consider the patterns in inverse coming descending, you wind up having all of the mode patterns present here. So again, you'd have your major this way, coming down this way. You'd have the Aeolian pattern. On the fifths, you'd have the Lydian pattern. And of course, the Dorian pattern is the same coming down as it is going up. So here are, we're going to be talking mainly about the spacing between the intervals of the chords. For our A sharp minor 7, it's a 3-4-3. Bring our A sharp to the top, we have a 4-3-2 spacing, starting on C sharp, C sharp, E sharp, G sharp, A sharp, to our 3-2-3 spacing, starting on E sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and C sharp, to a third inversion, which is a 2-3-4 spacing from G sharp, A sharp, C sharp, and E sharp. Coming down is E sharp, C sharp, A sharp, and G sharp. C sharp, A sharp, G sharp, E sharp, A sharp, G sharp, E sharp, C sharp, and G sharp, E sharp, C sharp, A sharp. For a minor 7, A sharp minor 7. Here our flat 2 was a B major 7, B, D sharp, F sharp, A sharp. Major 7s have a 4-3-4 spacing. First inversion was going to be a 3-4-1, starting on D sharp, F sharp, A sharp, B, to a 4-1-4, starting on F sharp, A sharp, B, D sharp, to a 1-4-3, starting on A sharp, B, D sharp, and F sharp. Coming down is F sharp, D sharp, B, A sharp, D sharp, B, A sharp, F sharp, B, A sharp, F sharp, D sharp, and A sharp, F sharp, D sharp, B, or flat 2, B major 7. Our third chord was C sharp dominant 7, 4-3-3 spacing, C sharp, E sharp, G sharp, and B. Move our C sharp up. We have a 3-3-2 position starting on E sharp, G sharp, B, C sharp, to our 3-2-4 inversion for dominant 7s, G sharp, B, C sharp, E sharp, to the 2-4-3 position starting on B, C sharp, E sharp, G sharp. Coming down is G sharp, E sharp, C sharp, B, E sharp, C sharp, B, G sharp, C sharp, B, G sharp, E sharp, and B, G sharp, E sharp, C sharp. Our fourth position chord was a D sharp minor 7, 3-4-3 spacing, D sharp, F sharp, A sharp, and C sharp. And then bring our D sharp up. We have a 4-3-2 starting on F sharp, A sharp, C sharp, D sharp, or 3-2-3 position starting on A sharp, C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, to a 2-3-4 spacing starting on C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, A sharp. Coming down is A sharp, F sharp, D sharp, C sharp, F sharp, D sharp, C sharp, A sharp, D sharp, C sharp, A sharp, F sharp, and C sharp, A sharp, F sharp, and D sharp. Again, our 5 chord was half diminished, E sharp half diminished, 3-3-4 spacing. Moving our E sharp to the top, we have a 3-4-2 position starting on G sharp, B, D sharp, E sharp. Moving our third up, we have the second inversion. Half diminished is 4-2-3 spacing starting on B, D sharp, E sharp, G sharp, to our 2-3-3 inversion starting on D sharp, E sharp, G sharp, B. Coming down is B, G sharp, E sharp, and D sharp. G sharp, E sharp, D sharp, B, E sharp, D sharp, B, G sharp, and D sharp, B, G sharp, E sharp. Again, our sixth chord was a relative major, F sharp major 7, F sharp, A sharp, C sharp, E sharp. It's a 4-3-4 spacing. Move our F sharp up. We have a 3-4-1 position starting on A sharp, C sharp, E sharp, F sharp, followed by a 4-1-4 starting on C sharp, E sharp, F sharp, A sharp, to our 1-4-3 starting on E sharp, F sharp, A sharp, C sharp. Coming down is C sharp, A sharp, F sharp, E sharp, A sharp, F sharp, E sharp, C sharp, F sharp, E sharp, C sharp, A sharp, and E sharp, C sharp, A sharp, F sharp. Lastly, our seventh position chord was G sharp minor 7. It's a 3-4-3, G sharp, B, D sharp, F sharp. We're G sharp to the top. We have a 4-3-2. Starting on B, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, to our 3-2-3. Starting on D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, B, followed by a 2-3-4, starting on F sharp, G sharp, B, and D sharp. D sharp, B, G sharp, F sharp, B, G sharp, F sharp, D sharp, G sharp, F sharp, D sharp, B, and F sharp, D sharp, B, and G sharp, or G sharp minor 7. Again, our chords were A sharp minor 7, a B major 7, C sharp dominant 7, D sharp minor 7, E sharp half diminished 7, F sharp major 7, and a G sharp minor 7. And those are your chords of the A sharp Phrygian mode.